Hey everybody, this is Tracy here with another edition of A View from Tracy's Point, and we are here with breaking news in the case of comedian and actor Bill Cosby. You guys know a couple of years ago he was sentenced to 3 to 10 years in prison for an assault against a woman by the name of Andrea Constad, where the Pennsylvania Supreme Court has overturned his conviction, finding an agreement with the previous prosecutor prevented him from being charged in the case. And if you guys recall, the current district attorney, Kevin Steele, actually used the Cosby case as his, I can't remember if it was his first time election or his re-election, but he used it politically to win an election, and he brought up these charges based on information that was given in a deposition in order to bring charges against Mr. Cosby. And so he served more than 2 years of the 3 to 10 year sentence in a Philadelphia prison, and he had vowed to serve all 10 years rather than acknowledge any remorse over the 2004 encounter with accuser Andrea Constad. And Andrea Constad, I believe, was the basketball coach or assistant coach at one of these colleges, and her and Mr. Cosby had developed this friendship and later got into a relationship, and she later came out and accused him of assault. And so he was charged in late 2015 when a prosecutor armed with newly unsealed evidence, Cosby's damaging deposition from the lawsuit against Constad, led to charges against him like days before the 12-year statute of limitations would have expired. And so the court said that District Attorney Kevin Steele, who made the decision to arrest Cosby, was obligated to stand by his predecessor's promise not to charge Cosby when he later gave potentially incriminating testimony in Constad's civil suit. There was no evidence that promise was ever put in writing. So Justice David Wedge, writing for a split court, said Cosby had relied on the former prosecutor's decision not to charge him when he later gave potentially incriminating testimony in the Constad civil suit. They said that overturning the conviction and barring any further prosecution is the only remedy that comports with society's reasonable expectations of its elected prosecutors and our criminal justice system. So the 83-year-old Cosby, who was beloved as America's dad, was convicted of drugging and molesting the Temple University employee at his suburban estate. The trial judge had allowed just one other accuser to testify at Cosby's first trial when the jury deadlocked. However, he then allowed 5 other accusers to testify at the retrial about their experiences with Cosby in the late 80s. So the Pennsylvania Supreme Court said that testimony tainted the trial, even though a lower appeals court had found it appropriate to show a signature pattern of drugging and molesting women. Cosby was the first celebrity tried and convicted in the Me Too era, so the reversal could make prosecutors wary of calling other accusers in similar cases. The law on prior bad act testimony varies by state, though, and the ruling only holds sway in Pennsylvania. The justices voiced concern not just about sex assault cases, but what they saw as the judiciary's increasing tendency to allow testimony that crosses the line into character attacks. The law allows the testimony only in limited cases, including to show a crime pattern so specific it serves to identify the perpetrator. As you guys know, they used this same technique in the Harvey Weinstein case that took place, which led to his conviction and sentence of 23 years. And he is actually actually being moved to California to face additional charges. But in Cosby's case, one of his appellate lawyers said prosecutors put on vague evidence about the uncharged conduct, including Cosby's own recollections in his deposition about giving women alcohol or quaaludes before their encounters. The presumption of innocence just didn't exist for him, Jennifer Bungine, the lawyer, argued in the court in December. In May, Cosby was denied parole after refusing to participate in programs during the nearly 3 years in state prison. He has long said he would resist the treatment programs and refuse to acknowledge wrongdoing, even if it meant he had to serve the full 10-year sentence. This is the first year he was eligible for parole under the 3 to 10-year sentence handed down after the 2018 conviction. His spokesperson, Andrew Wyatt, called the parole board decision appalling. Prosecutors said Cosby repeatedly used his fame and his persona as a family man to manipulate young women, holding himself out as a mentor before betraying them. Cosby, a groundbreaking black actor who grew up in public housing in Philadelphia, made a fortune estimated at $400 million during his 50 years in the entertainment industry. His trademark clean comedy and homespun wisdom fueled popular TV shows, books, and stand-up acts. And you guys know he was famous for the cartoon Fat Albert, of course, the long-standing Cosby Show, as well as the spinoff A Different World. And he also performed in several movies. So he fell from favor in his later years as he lectured the black community about family values, but was attempting a comeback when he was arrested. There was a built-in level of trust because of his status in the entertainment industry and because he held himself out as a public moralist. Assistant District Attorney Adrian Japp of the suburban Montgomery County argued to the justices. Cosby had invited Constance to an estate he owns in Pennsylvania the night she said he drugged and assaulted her. Constance, the former basketball player who worked at his alma mater, went to police a year later. The other accusers knew Cosby through the entertainment industry and did not go to police. And part of this article is coming from the Associated Press. But congratulations to Mr. Cosby. It looks like he is going home. And if I am understanding this ruling correctly, they are not going to be able to bring these same charges against him or retry him on these charges using the bad act witnesses, and hopefully they would just let this go. They've gotten almost 3 years out of him that he's served in jail. Hopefully that is retribution for him. Not sure if he is going to now sue the Constance woman to get his money back or sue for defamation of character, or if he's just going to let it go. But he appears to be going home. So guys, go ahead, leave your comments below, rate the video, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And I shall talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.